Welcome to Above Par. I'm your host, Kathy Hartwood. I show you how to take more of your talent to the golf course without practicing harder, taking more lessons, or buying new equipment. I show you how to end the frustration of underperforming so you can start playing to your potential. This is where you are going to learn how to think above par so you can play below par. Let's get to it. Hey there, my golf friends, and welcome back to Above Par. I hope you're staying warm depending on where you are. It's been a cold week, or if you're stuck up in the snow, I hope you're still listening and thinking about golf and what you can do this season with your golf game. So I wanted to make sure that I reminded you, if you get an opportunity to go and subscribe to my podcast or leave a review, I really appreciate it. I love seeing all the comments. I really appreciate people leaving them and taking the time to do that. But if you get an opportunity to do that, that would help other people find my podcast as well so they can get the value out of it. Also, I have a lot of things coming up this spring as far as workshops, DIY course, whether you want to work with me one-on-one on a deeper level, all of that stuff. If you go to kathyhartwood.com, and I'll make sure that that page is constantly updated with all the new programs and offerings that I have. So check that out. That's kathyhartwood.com. So today I want to talk about worrying about your golf game, worrying about hitting good shots, maybe even worrying about getting to the club in time or that you might miss your tee time. With golf, there's just so many things to worry about because it's the nature of the beast. It's just a very unpredictable sport. And it goes against our brain's natural tendency to want certainty. And golf, for sure, is not very certain. It's not a very certain sport. We don't know whether we're going to get a good lie. We don't know that the wind is going to gust in the middle of the shot. We don't know what kind of group we're going to get paired with sometimes or the pace of play. There's a lot of uncertainty in golf. I mean, those I just named like 5 benign ones. There's so many different situations that come up that creates a lot of worry in our head. And I want to talk about it today because we can use it to terrorize ourselves on the golf course. And the more that you worry, it actually can become a habit. So I want to use this podcast as an opportunity for you to start noticing the different areas of your golf game and your life that you worry unnecessarily and you cause yourself some suffering. Worrying is designed to protect us from our own fears, but it puts our nervous system on high alert, and that translates to a lot of mental tension. And that mental tension translates to physical tension. So the way that you're going to notice worrying on the golf course, it's going to show up as what if. What if I hit it out of bounds? What if I miss this shot? What if I embarrass myself? What if I flub it in the bunker, scull it out of the bunker? What if I don't get this little chip shot on the green? What if I shoot a number and I'm going to embarrass myself? Or I'm going to be disappointed in myself, right? So you want to start noticing those what if phrases. That's a sign that you're starting to worry. And the more that we do it, the more it creates a habit. And then we just do it a little bit on autopilot and we terrorize ourselves while we're on the golf course. So worrying can disguise itself as feeling like it's necessary. It feels like we're preparing ourselves for a negative outcome, like we're preempting disappointment. If I worry, I'll be prepared in case I play bad or I mishit it. We can also conflate it with problem solving. We think that we're worrying that we're going to figure out what the solution is to the problem that we have in front of us. But most of the time, we're just trying to control an uncontrollable situation. Getting stuck in traffic, you can't control that. So we worry unnecessarily, but it can seem like we're trying to help ourselves by solving a problem. So how that might look on the golf course is, let's say you had a short pitch shot over a bunker and you're like, what if I hit it in the bunker? And now what happens is your brain, because it's worrying, it has a fear of hitting the ball into the bunker. You are no longer present. You're no longer focused on what you're supposed to be doing. You're in the back of your brain, all ahead of yourself, worrying about your outcome or a situation and trying to solve for that ahead of time instead of being very present in the moment so that you can relax and make your best swings. We do this with the results a lot. What if I shoot a bad number? What if I play bad? Right? The more if you think about it, what if I play bad? If you're so focused on what if I play bad, chances of you playing bad are pretty good. Right? You're so far ahead of yourself trying to control something that is uncontrollable. Your score, for the most part, is pretty uncontrollable. All you can do is show up and be as calm and certain and confident as you can over as many shots as you can, and then add them up at the end and see what happened. There's so many things in golf you cannot control. You can't control bounces and wind. You can't control your lie. All you can control is what you decide to think over the golf ball so that you can show up as the best version of yourself as a golfer. All you can do is control it for whether you're present or you're worrying. But we can't control the score. If we could, that would be amazing. Golf would look totally different on the leaderboard, the scoreboards at tournaments, if people could control their score. For the most part, you can't control whether you win or lose. You can't control what someone else in your group does or how they play. So it's not a useful thing for us to do while we're on the golf course. And it's going to show up as a what if. So to help you minimize your worrying, these are two things that I want you to do. The first thing is I want you to notice when you're what ifing on the golf course and just give yourself credit for noticing it. Because right now, if you're a worrier about your golf game or hitting different shots or playing in front of people, you may have already created this habit and now all we're doing is shedding a little light on it. So start giving yourself some credit for noticing all the different times that your brain offers up to you, what if? What if I miss this shot? What if I miss this putt? What if I make a double on this hole? All those different situations. And then you want to ask yourself if it's useful or are you terrorizing yourself? Is it helping me by asking this question? Am I really able to solve a problem in this situation? Or am I just creating a lot of anxiety and nerves and fear inside of me when that is not how I want to play the game? And then the second thing that you want to do, or the third, if we consider that last one a step, is you want to give equal airtime to what's possible. If you offer up what if I miss it all the time, start changing the narrative to what if I hit it on the green? What if I play really well today? What if I hit a great drive here? What if I beat this person? What if I actually show up really great today? Start giving equal airtime to the positive outcomes versus the negative outcomes. And it will really help you deflate all of your nerves and your fears and your worries. And this is the thing, worrying is natural and it's designed to protect us from our own fears. But to prevent it from becoming a habit, you want to catch the what ifs and turn it around and decide to think, what if I succeeded? And see what is possible for yourself and your golf game. And on a side note, my friends, over the last few years, there has been plenty of things for us to worry about where our brain has gone into a lot of what if scenarios. And I encourage you to use these tactics in your day-to-day life where you find yourself worrying about whether you're going to get stuck in traffic, whether you're going to miss a flight or catch a flight, any of the things that you're worrying about with the pandemic or COVID or your kids in school, all those things, start noticing your what ifs there. Know that your worrying is you trying to overcome your fears. And there's been plenty in the last couple of years to put our nervous system on a heightened alert, which causes a lot of mental tension. I'd love to see you get a little bit of relief from that and get a little freedom from all the worrying. All right, my friends, have a beautiful week, and I'll talk to you next Wednesday. Bye.